Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Spear Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my Week 8 UFL predictions. So last week, I had a record of 3-1, and that brings my record on the season to 21-7. Kicking things off this week with the games we have on Saturday, beginning with the Panthers hosting the Showboats. The Showboats are terrible. They have lost 6 games in a row, and have lost 5 straight by at least 15 points, including a loss last week to the previously winless Renegades. The Panthers have already clinched a playoff spot and don't have a ton to play for. We'll actually be seeing quarterback changes for each team. For the Showboats, they'll go back to starting Case Cookus with Josh Love backing him up, and that comes after they started Troy Williams last week. He's their third string quarterback for this game. And for the Panthers, their starting quarterback Danny Etling is out for the second straight game with injury to his non-throwing hand. So they'll be starting Brian LeWerk with Bryce Perkins as the backup. And both Panther quarterbacks, LeWerk and Perkins, played last week, and that is expected to be the case once again. Now, this is a game I think that will be decided in the trenches. The Panthers, they have been a run-first offense, as they rushed for 108 yards per game, and have rushed for a week-high 11 scores. And they now face a Showboats run defense that allows 96 rushing yards a game, and 4.6 yards a carry. Both those stats bottom 3 in the UFL. Then on the other side, the Showboats offensive line is terrible. They've allowed 32 sacks, most in the UFL. And they face a great Panthers defensive front that has been dominant at times this season. And the Panthers defensive front actually gets even better, as they signed defensive end Levi Bell earlier this week, who was with the team in previous seasons, and he makes their defensive front, which is already good, even better. But the Panthers definitely have the advantage on the inside on both sides of the ball. I think that's going to be the main difference. I also just think the Panthers are going to be able to score a lot against a Showboats defense that isn't very good. So I got the Panthers winning this game pretty easily by a score of 28-12. Next game, we have the Roughnecks at the Stallions. So the Stallions are 7-0 and looking to become the first undefeated team in modern spring football. And they have a pretty favorable schedule ahead of themselves for the rest of the regular season. Now, the Stallions did just beat the Battlehawks, who are another one of the best teams in the league. So the Stallions do need to avoid a potential letdown against the one-win Roughnecks. But the Roughnecks offense, they have really struggled this season. They score just 14 points a game, and now face the Stallions defense that is allowing just 16.4 points a game, which is best in the league. The Roughnecks will be making another quarterback switch, starting Reed Sinnott with Nolan Henderson as the backup and Jarrett Guantanamo as the third string quarterback. And that comes a week after Guantanamo started last week with Sinnott as the backup. But the Roughnecks just need to figure something out offensively. Maybe this time around a quarterback switch can spark the offense. But their offense has really held this team back. Defense isn't amazing, but it's good enough to win some games, but the offense really held this team back. Now, the defense allowed 32 points the first time they played the Stallions, and I think they're going to have a tough time again, because Adrian Martinez ran all over the Roughnecks the first game. He gets to start again, and even though the Roughnecks defense has been decent lately, I have a hard time seeing them slow down the Stallions offense. So I think this could be a close game, but I think this will be a blowout. Stallions win this one by a score of 30-11. Moving to the games on Sunday, beginning with the Battlehawks hosting the Defenders. So this is actually a pretty interesting game. The Defenders need this game, and they really need to win out to have any chance at the playoffs, as they're currently 3-4, sitting 2 games out of a playoff spot. And they face the Battlehawks, a team that destroyed the Defenders a few weeks ago, 45-12, and that game was in DC. The Battlehawks now host this game, but it gets interesting because the Battlehawks are really banged up. They're going to be without starting quarterback AJ McCarron and 2 receivers who both play key parts of their offense, Marcel Aitman as well as Ja'Cour Pearson. But those 3 players are huge losses to their offense, so the Battlehawks will now likely be starting Manny Wilkins at quarterback with Brandon Silvers as the backup. Wilkins actually has appeared in 1 game this season, and that was actually against the Defenders, but he didn't attempt to pass, although he did run for a score. Now, the Defenders' game plan will definitely be different, trying to defend Manny Wilkins, who's a much more mobile quarterback than AJ McCarron. But the Defenders' defense has struggled this season, allowing 25 points a game, which is third worst in the league. And they're also really bad against the run, allowing 112 rushing yards a game, and have allowed over 185 rushing yards a game in each of their last 2 games. And I would expect the Battlehawks to try to run the ball a little bit more in this game than they usually would, especially because of a backup quarterback and a more mobile quarterback that they can get involved in the run game. Now, offensively for the defenders, they have not been good, scoring just 18.7 points a game, and they scored just 9 points last week. They face a great Battlehawks defense that's allowing just 19 points a game. I think this is a game that could be closer than expected because of the Battlehawks' injuries, but I still think the Battlehawks get the win, and a win will also clinch a playoff spot for the Battlehawks. I've got them winning 24-18. And our final game, we have the Brahmas hosting the Renegades. The Renegades are coming off their first win of the season as they demolished the Showboats, winning 47-23, and their offense dominated that game. Now, I would not expect the Renegades to have that kind of an offensive explosion again this week, as they face the second best scoring defense in the UFL, as the Brahmas allow just 17.3 points a game. Now, speaking of good offensive performances, that is something the Brahmas have not gotten in the past 2 weeks, as the offense has struggled, scoring just 12 points 2 weeks ago and just 15 points last week. The big reason why was quarterback Quentin Dormady struggled. Dormady got benched last week for Kevin Hogan, but the Brahmas will be starting Quentin Dormady again this week. But if he struggles again, I wouldn't be shocked to see Kevin Hogan. But the Brahmas offense has a great matchup to get back on track, as they face a bad Renegades defense that is the second worst scoring defense in the league, allowing 25.1 points per game. This is a game that could go either way, or not really could go either way, but I think could be a blowout or a close game, although there is a small part where I could see the Renegades potentially getting the upset win. But to me, this game really depends on the Brahmas' offensive play. I think the Brahmas will have a bounce back offensive game against a bad defense, improve to 6-2 on the season, and win this game by a final score of 25-19. But those are my Week 8 UFL predictions. Real quick, I will not be having a live stream or live watch party for any game this week. Hopefully they will return next week. But that's all for my Week 8 UFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications. I do my best to put as often as possible. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my predictions, disagree, and why. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.